guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and today we're going to be diving into the 5 cars that you need whether you're a new player or a returning player in Forza Horizon 5. Now before we start today's video, I do want to preface, you probably have most of the cars on the list, but I'm going to give a little insight if you don't have them, why you should, or why you should use these cars more than maybe you currently do. And keep in mind, they are in no particular order, it's just a group of 5 cars that I think you should have. So, the first car, we're starting off pretty simple, and it's a really good drag car. If you ask me, everybody needs a really good drag car, whether you're playing with your friends, for events, for speed zones, for the drag strips. And of course, I was going to put my personal favorite and what I think is one of the top drag cars in the game, the Lamborghini Diablo. Now keep in mind, it's not too expensive of a car, and there's 2 Diablos, but you can technically get both if you already have one. And if you want to just get it on the auction house, it is very possible and doable to get it for just under 100,000 credits, because it's not really that rare of a car. Tons of people have them and they're always selling, so you could for sure auction snipe for one or just buy it outright. Now moving on to number 4, and if you have a really good drag car, you probably need a really good drift car, because Forza's got so many different things in it. You don't want to trap yourself in just one category. So if you have found that you've trapped yourself in a category, a good way to break out into the drifting one is with my personal favorite drift car, which is the Lexus SC300. It's my favorite car for a couple of reasons. Number 1, nobody really knows about this car for drifting. It kind of looks really lame in its default settings. So I know you may not look like a whole lot, but put the upgrades on it, put a drifting tune on it, throw on a nice paint job, because there's tons of good paint job. And as long you can actually do all-wheel drive or rear wheel drive on this car. It's really great at both. I'm not great at either. But this is by far my favorite drift car I've ever gotten to use within the game, and I only discovered it recently, so thank goodness I did, otherwise it wouldn't have even made this list. I guarantee like 99% of you probably haven't even driven this car before. Now, you have your drag car and you have your drift car. You might find yourself wanting a car that does both really well. Rizon, which car is that? Oh, I love when you guys ask questions. It's a really good question. Well, that car would be the Toyota Supra. Now, I know what you're going to say. Oh, Supra, yeah, car guy, whatever. You're probably not saying that. And I know it's a really generic car, but it is phenomenal for drag racing. It's fun to tune yourself if you've never tuned a car before, or just messing around with its gearing. Very fun for that. And everybody knows this car drifts well anyway, so you kind of get the best of both worlds, and you can buy your upgrades for it. It's an incredibly cheap car. You can get them probably for well under 100,000 credits. I haven't looked because they're kind of just everywhere, but it's worth it. It's absolutely worth it, and everyone definitely needs a good mixture of both, and it has a really high top speed. I think you can get this car going like 285 miles per hour. That's a pretty great car in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. But anyways, moving on, you got the drag car, you got the drift car, you got the in-between. Now you need the fastest car in the game. And now I know it's not technically the fastest car in the game, but the fastest car in the game is locked behind DLC, so I'm not going to include it in this slot. Instead, I'm talking about the Koenigsegg Jesko, which I believe can have a top speed of like 306 or 307 miles per hour, and it's in the auto show, so you don't have to find it on the auction house. Anyone can get their hands on this car. Now, do keep in mind, it carries a heavy price point. I think it's like $2 million from the auto show. I don't think it's much cheaper than that on the auction house. For whatever reason, Forza only lets supercar prices fall so low, so you are going to be out at least $1 million or $2 million on this one, but maybe you can go ahead and bid on one, or maybe you know a friend with one. Either way, you kind of need this car. And even if not for the top speed, for the speed zones, like it's a cheat code if you have this car and you're doing the speed zones, because you can just get 3 stars on every single one unless you're going up against a cheater. But anyways, let me know what your highest speed on a speed zone altogether is. I think I hit 302 miles per hour on the highway. All right, now we have a drag car, a drift car, an in-between, and the top speed, but what are we missing? Well, it would seem like nothing, and frankly, you don't need this last car on the list, but I've put it on here as something to sort of just complete your collection. It's, in my opinion, the rarest car in the game, and something that everybody can work towards owning. And it's the Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. I think it is the most beautiful vehicle in the game. It has an incredibly high top speed. I don't think it might be like the 3rd fastest car on the list. It's not faster than the Yes Go, it might be faster than the Supra, but it still is a really quick car, and it just gives you something in the game to work towards, because obviously you know that games are a lot more fun when you're working towards an end goal, and this is what I think that should be for you, because not only does it cost 20 million credits, which is more money than most people have in the game, but you're probably not, even if you have that 20 million credits, you're probably not going to find one on the auction house, because it is the rarest car in the game. I don't know, I think those are all fantastic reasons. Let me know, maybe I should have left this one off the list down below, but I think it's important. But anyways, that is going to be our quick list for today's video. Let me know what cars you think I missed, and maybe we'll make a part 2 to this. As always, we'll see you boys in the next one. I'm out. Oh, peace!